Question number 151. Micturition reflex is triggered by the activation of stretch receptors present in the wall of. And this is a direct question, and the correct answer to this question is option number 2, that is urinary bladder. The stretch receptors are present on the wall of urinary bladder, and it is the activation of these stretch receptors which will trigger or which will initiate this micturition reflex action. The other three options are renal pelvis, and this is an incorrect option. Renal pelvis is a funnel-shaped structure which is present inside the hilum. The next option given is urethra and ureter, and these are also the incorrect options because ureter extends from kidney into the urinary bladder, and the neck of this urinary bladder is formed of urethra, and they do not have these stretch receptors on their wall. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 152. Which of the following does not occur in response to decrease in blood volume? And as you can see here, if there is decrease in blood volume or blood pressure, this will lead to the release of renin from kidney, and this renin act as an enzyme and convert angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1, which is being converted into angiotensin 2 in presence of angiotensin converting enzyme. This angiotensin 2 will finally restore the blood pressure. This angiotensin 2 then act on adrenal cortex to release aldosterone as well as ADH or vasopressin. And this complete regulatory system is known as RAS. Along with these hormones, that is renin, aldosterone and ADH, there is another hormone known as ANF which acts antagonistic to this system. Now let's discuss the options first. The very first option given is increase in angiotensin 2, and as it is a correct statement, so this cannot be a correct answer to this question because angiotensin 2 is increased during this RAS system in response to what? In response to decrease in blood volume. The next option given is increase in aldosterone secretion by adrenal cortex, and as it is a correct statement, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question. The next option is increased tubular reabsorption of sodium, and this is also a correct statement, so cannot be a correct answer to this question. As you can see here, when there is low blood volume, this will lead to the increased tubular reabsorption of sodium. The last option given is increased secretion of atrial natriuretic peptide from liver, and this is an incorrect statement, so it's a correct answer to our question because it is not atrial natriuretic peptide, but it is angiotensinogen which is secreted from liver in response to low blood volume. On the other hand, this ANF is secreted from atrial wall of heart. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 153. If a person is suffering from water deficiency, maximum water reabsorption from filtrate occurs in. And we know that maximum water reabsorption from filtrate occurs always in PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubule. Near about 65 to 70% of filtrate has been reabsorbed in proximal tubule as obligatory reabsorption. Facultative reabsorption occurs in last part of nephron under the effect of different regulatory hormones. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4, that is proximal convoluted tubule. On the other hand, the still convoluted tubule, descending limb of loop of Henle and collecting duct are the incorrect options because maximum water reabsorption do not occur in these parts of renal tubule, but it occurs in proximal convoluted tubule. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Question number 154. Uremia is a condition in which concentration of urea decreases in blood. This is an incorrect option because uremia is a condition in which concentration of urea increases in blood. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2, that is increases in blood. The next option is increases in urine, and this is an incorrect option. And the last option is decreases in hepatic vein, and this is also an incorrect option because in this condition called uremia, there is increase in concentration of urea in hepatic vein. So this is also an incorrect option. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 155. T wave in electrocardiogram represents, and as you can see here in this diagrammatic representation of one cardiac cycle representing the PQRST wave of ECG, this T wave represents what? It represents ventricular repolarization. In the end of this T wave, It marks the end of ventricular systole. During this P wave, the ventricles return from the excited, that is depolarized state to normal state. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1, that is T wave in electrocardiogram represents the return of ventricles from excited, that is depolarized state, to normal state. So the correct answer is option number 1. Let's discuss other options also. The second option given is depolarization of ventricles from normal to excited state, and this is an incorrect option because it represents the repolarization of ventricles from excited to normal state. The next option given is onset of atrial systole, and this is an incorrect option. As you can see here, the onset of atrial systole is marked by P wave and not by T wave. And the last option given is onset of atrial diastole, and this is also an incorrect option because onset is from this QRS complex and not from T wave. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1. Let's discuss our next question.